Hello everyone, and now I want to use a very interesting and a very useful site called ptable.com, and it's a very interactive periodic table to showcase the major features of the periodic table. As you learned previously in the history of the periodic table, when the table was initially developed by Mendeleev, he grouped those elements into according to their similarity in chemical properties and subsequently similarity in the physical properties, and then arranged it in the fashion of increasing in atomic mass. Remember, at that time, nobody had any knowledge about the subatomic particles. That was about roughly 20 years later, before the first subatomic particle, the electrons, was discovered by J.J. Thomson. So he grouped it in according to atomic mass and arranged a table that even though it has some flaws, but correctly predicted the existence of 3 undiscovered new elements. And later on, the periodic table was modified, and first by arranging, instead of the atomic mass, then the atomic number, and that is a number of protons. And then you will take two series were taken out of the periodic table, and to group them together as a separate group due to the distinctive chemical properties. So that was done by Glenn Seaborg. And now you're looking at this modern periodic table, and you can see the major features. You have the groups, vertical, the columns is called groups. You have from group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to group 18. So there are 18 columns on this feature, and they are the vertical, the horizontal ones is called rows, is called periods, as indicated by here, those numbers. This is period 1, period 2, period 3, period 3 elements, period 4 elements, period 5 elements, period 6 elements, and period 7 elements. The reason why I like this periodic table is the interactivity. So as we highlight those, and you can see those highlighted, and those 2 series is actually called, as you can see, if I click on the elements of that, you will identify, you see, this one is called the lanthanoids, this one is called the actinoids, this one is called the actinoids. And also you will see the alkyl metals. Alkyl metals is the first column minus hydrogen, because hydrogen, remember, is kind of an odd guy out. And the second one is alkaline earth metals, and you're going to see this big middle block called the transition metals, and this one is called the post-transition metals. And you will see the noble gases is the group 18, halogens group 17, and this one is called other nonmetals, and this one is called metalloids. Those are the ones we're going to talk about in detail later, when we talk about the differences between the metals, nonmetals, and the metalloids. And also the names for those groups. Group 17 will be called halogen, 16 will be called oxygen groups, 15 will be called nitrogen groups, 14 will be called carbon groups, and 13 will be called boron groups. And the other very interesting feature is, and this is actually a kind of condensed version of the periodic table, if we actually insert the lactanoids and the actinoids, and you can actually click on this option on the upper right corner. This is called wide view. You can actually insert it this way. This is the complete view of the periodic table with no sections being taken out. with no sections taken out. And you can see this is the one inserted in here. There's 2 series inserted here, and now the periodic table is really wide, and everything has to be shrink down, and sometimes it's hard to visualize, and also it's much easier actually to take it out, because separate those out. Lanthanoids and actinoids have a distinctive chemical properties. As you can also see, can look at it, the conventions, and this one's the black found will be in solid, blue will be liquid, and red will be gas. As high shaded is unknown. The reason why it's unknown is those are elements with a very short half-life. It's impossible to measure. And another very interesting feature is, here's a bar. Actually, you can change the temperature. It's set at 293 Kelvin. 293 Kelvin, that's about 20 degrees Celsius. It's defined as the room temperature. And you can actually change the temperature by either changing on the value here or by sliding it. And as you slide over it, you can see some of the solid becomes liquid, liquid becomes gas, and vice versa. If you're really high temperature, a lot of them are going to become gas, and you can change that. It's very interesting, interactive. You can change it back to 293, and you can go coming back to the normal one. This is what we observed at room temperature. Just repeat that. You have 18 groups, 7 periods, and 2 series, and you have different names, and you have metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So that's very interestingly, and the other features we can actually looking at it, and the other tabs on here, you can click on this, and those are the properties. Those are the properties that can give you. Click on any of, move the cursor to any of those elements. It'll give you the physical properties of it. In this case, lithium, you will have the melting point, the boiling point, electronegativity, electron affinity. It will give you the valence, ionization energy, give you the radius, hardness, density, lots of information. Okay, so then also give you this color coded, and those red ones are gases, the blue ones liquid, and all the black ones solid. All we refer to again here at 293 kelvins. The other interesting tab you can have here is orbitals. As you can see here, what we're showing here in the middle, that is the, if you're familiar with this is the orbital notations, and now you can looking at, this is ground state electron count. This is ground state electron configuration. We'll have another vlogcast specifically will be focused on this. The other tab is all kinds of isotopes, and this is also very important. The different compounds, those elements will start to form. And in a very short section, and we just went through all the major features of the periodic table. If you want to find where this interactive periodic table is located on the web, let me repeat the web address. That will be www.ptable.com. P-table spelled P-T-A-B-L-E.com. With that, I wrap up this podcast, and thank you very much for your attention.